You are in the temple of the rants, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by becoming one of those. This one's for Specs, who says, rant about Brockhampton. If you're unfamiliar with them, then just watch this music video and rant about it. I am familiar with Brockhampton. I've never really gotten into them. I think part of it is that they do a sound. How do I put this? There's a certain category of artists where they do stuff that is similar enough to either what I listen to or what I myself am trying to do, that if they don't accomplish it the way I want them to, then it's like aggravating, you know? And with Brockhampton, I definitely am interested in what they are setting out to do. Which is basically to be like a rap boy band that's kind of taking the idea of something like Odd Future, but making it more of a unified front, like a true group of, artistry, led by, of course, Kevin Abstract, who has like a strong identity, a strong message, and a very clear sound, which combines elements of like screamo and rock music in with hip hop and this sort of grungy dark sound that's popular these days. I think that they did a genius job of image crafting, of getting themselves out there, of like having amazing PR and everything. Just like really making themselves stand out as a unit, and of course getting plenty of good critical attention. And I'll even say that the very first time I heard them, I was immediately influenced by it, because it was when I was at, at the time known as Blind Skywatcher, now she goes by Sarah Louise, when I was at her house recording Gay and Dead, she threw it on for me, and when I heard like the screamed vocals and the emo vocals combined in there, I immediately started doing that on Gay and Dead. I right away wrote Nihilistic Suburban Void, and like, because it was something like I had already wanted to do, and sometimes I feel like hearing an artist do something that I wanted to do is like getting permission. It's like, oh, there's somebody popular doing this? Okay, well then I guess it's okay for me to do it, which I really need to just be more in front of the trends instead of waiting for them to come hit me, But, like, something about the way they do those incorporations, though, it's like I don't really dig the way their screaming sounds. I don't really dig their more emotional lyrics. I think that they come off kind of cheesy to me, that their messaging is kind of not that engaging. I don't like their more like hype beast characters. Like, for instance, the one song by them that I have on my phone, I think, is called Heat, and it's like, first of all, I think their beats are a little too repetitive, and the songs go on for too long because they're trying to put so many people into each track some of the time. But this particular track, I enjoy it up to a point. It's just basically a bunch of guys sounding edgy and cool, which is, again, what I do, so I relate. But then this one dude comes in who's like the screaming white guy dude, and I'm like, I could do this role better than this guy. It's like the way I feel, and I know that's real narcissistic and unfair. But when I hear it and I go, I can scream "fuck you" better than this guy can, it's like that extra makes me not able to listen to it. It's like I want to listen to artists who are doing if they're doing something similar to what I'm doing, I want them to be doing it better. So, for instance, City Morgue, Sauce Mula, and Zillakami, love their music, and Zillakami, is doing throaty screamed rapping way better than I can. He just has an amazing voice for it, and he writes these really sticky hooks, and like, I don't even necessarily think they've put out a good album yet. I think they have a bunch of great songs, but like, it's just so clear to me that Zillakami has nailed this sound in a way that nobody else has yet, and I can't do it as well as he can, so I just want to keep listening to it and being like, you motherfucker, why didn't I? If only I had worked just a little harder, I might have been able to achieve this, but you did it, And with Brockhampton, I feel like a lot of those guys would not be successful at all if they weren't in Brockhampton. Like, obviously, Kevin Abstract is the genius behind what makes it work, and I'm not even a huge fan of him and his aesthetic or anything. Like, I do think that Brockhampton couldn't possibly exist if Odd Future hadn't laid the framework, and I think they'd say that themselves. But like, I appreciate that there is some you know, like there's like a central head and figure who makes this all possible, but all the other guys, it's just like these are interchangeable, you know, much like any other boy band. Everybody but the lead guy is pretty interchangeable. So, you know, it hasn't done much for me. Their albums always kind of feel all over the place. There's not a ton of like cohesion on them, and you know, again, it's like something tangential to something I would be interested in, but just not there. But I understand why people like it.